This is Dan Abbott from Southern Maine Community College, and I'm going to present a video that is a portion of a class that I was teaching in my Parametric Modeling class to demonstrate the use of SolidWorks as a design tool for a specific project, as well as the use of the sheet metal component. What you're looking at is a photo of me voting in a drop box. And the drop box was something that I designed at the request of the governor of the state of Maine, Janet Mills, when COVID first hit, so that people would be able to vote without having to go to a polling place and expose themselves to the possibility of getting COVID. The problem that she faced was that although she wanted ballot boxes available to as many municipalities in Maine as wanted them, the companies that made these kinds of drop boxes were inundated with requests from all over the country, with all the other states as well. And so the time required to get one of these or get these ballot boxes made was a 4-year waiting period, and she wanted them for that year's election. She also wanted them to be manufactured in Maine, and that meant they had to be manufactured from my point of view, they'd be manufactured exclusively from sheet metal, so they could be welded. And the process required that they be available within 30 days, which was a fairly daunting time period. So the design that you're looking at is what I came up with, and I'm going to demonstrate that in the rest of this video. And I came up with this design because I wanted something that would look secure, be secure, and be weatherproof and prevent a few other things as well. So the purpose of this for my class was to go through the process of identifying design criteria for a project, and then using and applying that design criteria to something using this tool called SolidWorks. And the rest of this video is from that presentation, and that presentation was a class presentation, but I've cut out all of the images or references to students, so it is simply the portion of the class where I presented this. As a result, it got all this attention. The governor's office, when the voting thing started happening, and they said, boy, we got to give people a way to vote without having them crammed into little rooms. So if we had a place they could just drop their ballots outside of the city hall and the town halls that are secure, that would be really helpful. And people make those kinds of things. But of course, every state in the nation wanted to buy them, which meant that when Maine got on in the line, they were told, we can have them for you in 4 years. So she said, well, you know, that guy Dan Abbott, he designs a plumbing fitting, so probably he can design these. So she called the system president, and he called me, and I said, well, what is it they need? And I had never done anything with a SolidWorks sheet metal tool before, but I started in my career as a technical career when I was 15, working in a sheet metal shop. So I understood something about sheet metal, just not the tool that was being used here. So I said, okay, when do you need it? And they wanted them manufactured and distributed in 30 days. Now, designing something, and you know, people were saying, well, it's such a simple thing. Anybody could design a ballot box. There's no such thing as a simple design of anything. Even things that appear simple, you have a design criteria that you have to meet. You also have to make something that can be manufactured. We had to have something that I could provide to prospective manufacturers. They had to be able to make a prototype so that I could take a garden hose and fill it with paper and hose it down to see if it would leak. And then we had to go ahead and they had to make 78 more. This is a drawing of one of the two. There were two boxes, one small and one big. And the reason that I was willing to do it is because I thought I could figure out SolidWorks sheet metal tool quickly enough to be able to come up with something. So this drawing right here is a technical drawing of one of the boxes in an assembly. And then over here, it shows you what it would look like. The process of doing this involved making each of the individual components. This is what the box looks like right now. And this is what it would look like if they were going to open it and pull out all the ballots. They would lock the place where the ballots get put in, and then, hang on, When people were voting, I had to have a door that would do this and have a slot, and then this would get locked. Now, a lot of ballot boxes are like mailboxes, this big heavy weighted thing. You pull it down, you put something in. Insanely expensive to make. And just we wouldn't have been able to do it. We couldn't have been able to do it. In my opinion, this had to be made out of sheet metal, and it had to have as few devices that were mechanical as possible. So that's just a single piece of sheet metal that fits down in there and can be locked open or locked closed. This is the door that I came up with that is waterproof because it has a hinge here. Everything was welded, all these different components, and it had to be something that would withstand a wind-driven rain coming in at an angle that would prevent it from going into that slot. Does that make sense? So I looked up the stats for a 100-year storm, what the angle of that rain would be with winds at the height, the size that they would be. And I put that slot as far back under that hood as possible to prevent that. The other thing is the city of Portland wasn't willing to put one of these out because they said the mailbox in front of City Hall often had people putting cups of coffee and dumping them in the mailbox, dropping bags of dog poop in the mailbox, and disposing of hypodermic needles in the mailbox. And they said, we don't want a ballot box that's got all that stuff in it because ballots are really serious. So my number one design criteria was something that would be hard to do that. That slot is small enough so a hypodermic needle can't go through it. Nobody's going to shove a bag of dog poop down through that thing because it would be too hard to do. And I designed it with that hood where it is so that somebody with a can of Coke or a cup of coffee pushing a hand back there and then tipping it up, it would actually spill out here and then run off. Obviously, it had an angle for that purpose as well. Now, the other thing is it had to be secured. And it also had to look secure as well. I should have a photograph of it. Anybody use one of these anywhere? There's one outside of City Hall in Portland. There's another one in Portland out in Canco Road. And then my hometown of Rumford, Maine has a small one that they put in. So the SolidWorks part of this involved, and as far as the design goes, involved this. I had to start with the box itself. And to start with the box itself, first I had to know how big a box I needed for the ballots that would go in it. So I just went online and looked at a ballot box company and found out what they considered a reasonable volume. Then I said, well, let's just start with the shape I want it to be. And I knew I could modify that angle if necessary, but we'd start with that. And that is something you all could make right now. You just draw that shape and extrude it, and that's now a solid block. Then I said, well, let's turn it into sheet metal. So I used the sheet metal tool to say, make it sheet metal. Then I said, let's convert it to sheet metal of a certain size, and bingo, it immediately turns it into folded sheet metal with what's known as a relief in the corners. Because if you fold metal up, it pushes together at the fold. And if you have two pieces coming together, they're not going to fold neatly. So you have to have it cut out at a certain size. The idea here is that we're going to weld all this up, and we wanted to have something that was close enough to weld and it wasn't going to have a problem with the corners like this. So if you notice, this is all individual sheet metal. And if you take a look at it, it looks like that. So that was a good start, but that's obviously not enough because then you've got to have a slot in it, some way of keeping the water out, some way of locking it so people can't put ballots in after a certain time on election day, but also people could take it out, but that people couldn't just, vandalize it or mess around with it. So the process involved first the slot, and you notice all the way back there. And again, now this, actually the slot I ended up with was narrow. I had to go get a ballot and find out how thick the envelope was and how much room it actually needed. And I wanted to have it so people had to kind of push it down in there. So again, people couldn't drop needles in. I measured a hypodermic needle to make sure it wouldn't go in there. And this is all stuff I'm doing feverishly on a Saturday, trying to come up with something that we could then use to go out and get some bids. Put some holes in it. The holes obviously are for mounting. but I also have some holes that are called weep holes in case any water did get in, it would have a place to get out. And there was a hole that I needed to get the ballots out. And the hardest thing was coming up with a door because my original door had a gasket, and the original door came down here and you had to push on it and lock it in order for the gasket to seal. And we made a prototype and had some of the people who work at elections try it out. And they're almost all older women, and they had trouble pushing hard enough on it to lock it up because of the gasket. And I also didn't like the idea of a gasket because it would wear out. And by the way, we made these out of stainless, even though the state at the time said, wouldn't that be too expensive? And I said, not compared to painting and having the paint scratched and having them rust the very first time they're used and then thrown away in 3 years because they're all beat up and rusted. So we made them out of stainless steel. So I thought, I saw a boat one time that had an outboard that was inside the boat. They put a big hole in the boat. And they put an outboard in the hole in the boat by building a wall around that hole that came up. So there was a well. And I thought, if I just have something that is like overlaps, I can make a little well out of this and cover it. So I thought, well, let me try this. I'm going to put in a flange on that side, another flange on this side, and then use a piano hinge across the top that gets welded in place because a piano hinge is essentially watertight. And then when I make the door that goes over it, instead of making the door the way I made it, where I needed a gasket on the back, I'll make a door that just comes and fits right over this and then has a slot in it. So that little piece right there can go through and lock it. So just the whole process of using sheet metal involved putting that little tab in there, another edge tab, something else, and something else. Now, has anybody you ever have like, how like beer comes in a 6-pack? You know what I'm talking about? Do you ever take one and just unfold it and take a look at it? It's very complicated. But when you unfold it, there's a shape that gets folded into a beer, container. There's a lot of things like that, and sheet metal is like that. And I knew that because when I first worked with my uncle who had a sheet metal shop, he was like a genius at coming up with a flat pattern that could be folded up into all the ductwork that we were making. This tool did not require me to come up with a flat pattern. It required me to come up with a final product. And then I was able to say, well, what would it look like if we flattened it out? And SolidWorks says it would look like that. Now, the company that put the bid in said it would be really helpful to us if we had that pattern that we could use to drive our laser cutters so they could just cut the pattern out. We wouldn't have to do anything. And do you have those files? And I can give them to you for sure. The only thing is, they said, what makes you think we can fold that? We're going to have to cut it right here. We don't have a bend, a break, a machine for folding that's big enough. I said, well, you go do whatever you want. But this is what it would be if you could fold it out of one whole piece. So they made one cut right there. Otherwise, they did the laser cutting, and that laser cutting included all those little relief cuts here, all the holes, that little tab. I made that tab so that it could be also cut out of the same material. I made sure that they could buy the material that would be the right size for it without wasting a whole lot of material. And then we sent those on. I sent those on. Now, so that is one of the parts, and then it got put together into the assembly that you saw. And just to kind of finish up the application, the city of Portland was the first one to buy one. Once they saw the design, and I said, here's my design criteria. And my design criteria started with, you can't put poop in it, not all the things that you can't do, and then it has to be dry, etc. They were the first municipality to mount one, and I was really pleased about that. And since then, when the voting was all done, I went to City Hall because I live in Portland, and I talked to the city clerk, and I said, listen, I designed the ballot boxes, and I just want to know, how did they do? Did you have any problems? She said, we did it. The first day we had a big problem. I said, oh. It wasn't raining that day, was it? What was the problem? She said, we thought we'd emptied it at the end of the day, and an hour into the day, people came up and said that was full. We had to go down and empty it. So many people voted with those ballot boxes that the only problem they had was somebody said, I can't push my ballot in. It's full of ballots. And they realized they had to go and empty it more often than they thought. I said, any water get in it? Nope. Anybody pour anything in it? Nope. Anything at all get put in that ballot box except ballots? No. So I checked with the Secretary of State, and nobody in the state of Maine during that year or the next year that I asked had any problems at all with the box, which made me feel really good.